Alright, so here we go. New Blu-ray update. Captain America Winter Soldier shirt. Yeah, pretty badass. Batman's right here. I gotta move you. Sorry, man. I let him loom over me, make sure I don't screw up. If he does, he serves justice on me, and by that I mean he punches me. Where do we begin? I need to do a video about this shelf. Maybe entire Blu-ray collection sometime soon. I don't know, but let's start with the Blu-rays and not my saying. Because there is a lot, and frankly, my brain's going to slide out of my ears halfway during this video from talking too much, so do this quick. First off, we got a whole bunch of animation, and Toy Story of Terror. Yeah, that's what it's called. And it includes 3 other ones, Small Fry, Hawaiian Vacation, and Party Source Rex. I dug this. You know, they do... I remember there was like Cars tunes that I also saw, and the Cars tunes were pretty lame, but then again, I don't like Mater all that much. This... Like the Toy Story Terrors are about 20 minutes, the other ones are about like maybe 3-4 minute shorts. But I really enjoyed these little like Disney tunes. I like them. For Toy Story anyway, I love seeing the gang back together. It's not a whole movie where it's like, okay, 4th movie, does it or not hold up against the 3? But like a little short, it's like you don't have to worry if it's as good as the movies because it's just a mini little thing. And I thought this was actually pretty good, like specifically Toy Story Terror, the homages to horror movies. You got Carl Weathers as Combat Carl. I think it was Carl Weathers. Paranorman, one of my favorite animated movies of 2012 when it came out, I believe. It was this and Wreck-It Ralph, but this is like one of my favorite animation movies ever. I love the homages to horror films. It's got a really good story. There's a lot of heart to it, a great score, good performances. This is awesome. I love it. And it's from the people that made Coraline, and it really makes me want to see Coraline. And there's a new one coming out, The Box Trolls. So because of this, I'm going to check out the other 2. So yeah, Paranorman's pretty badass. And it's green. It's green. Come on, that's awesome. The Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under. Have never seen the first one, but the second one I love. I have some vague memories of it, but I really love Rescuers Down Under. So yeah, I almost had a speech impediment there. This, I'm very excited to watch both again, specifically the second. Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, Mary Poppins. I recently saw Saving Mr. Banks, thought it was a pretty good movie, all about the making of Mary Poppins. So now it's just like, oh, I gotta see the Mary Poppins movie now. See what that whole movie was about, the making of this. Very excited to watch it. I don't own any Muppets movies yet besides this one. Soon I will own some more because I got Muppets Most Wanted. This was really funny to me. Wasn't quite as good as the first, like the newer Muppets movies. Or like my personal favorite, Muppets Take Manhattan. Or was it Muppets in Manhattan? One or the other. The Muppets Manhattan movie was like my favorite Muppets movie ever. I thought that one was hysterical. But the new one, the Muppets movie, is really good. This one was pretty good too. Some good cameos. Tina Fey. The Little Mermaid. Don't remember anything about this movie, but it's a classic, and Ariel might be the hottest Disney princess. It's because of the seashell bikini. That's what does it. I've rewatched this one twice already. Hercules. This is pretty funny. Danny DeVito as the little guy. James Woods. And those are the only 2 like big names that I name off the top of my head. Like I don't even remember who played Hercules, but he was pretty good. This was a fun movie. A lot of pop culture references. And yeah, it's pretty badass. I like it. I like it a lot more than that Dwayne Johnson one, even though he threw a horse, but anyway. Tarzan. Phil Collins soundtrack is badass. The movie's really good. Have to rewatch it though. Haven't seen it yet. I got it a while ago actually. I've been holding this video off for a couple weeks for some reason. I'm an asshole. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this again. And I want to get that video game. The PlayStation 1 video game. That's one of the few classic games of my childhood that I haven't gotten back yet. Hard to find, but if I can find it, I'm getting it, because I remember it being a really cool game. Tangled, this movie is awesome. You know, The Lion King, was that maybe the last one? Speaking of which, I also got The Lion King. Awesome. Go back on the shelf, sir. But yeah, since The Lion King may be the best Disney movie, I'm trying to remember, did Tarzan come out like 98 or something? Don't quite remember, but yeah, this is like Disney's big comeback. This one's really good. I love Tangled. It's such a charming movie. You just have such fun watching it with a smile on your face the whole time. Love Tangled, and Rapunzel is pretty hot. And then Disney's other movie, Frozen. This one, the musical. Let It Go. I'm going to let the movie go on the shelf, but yeah, I love this movie. I didn't review it. I actually missed it in theaters, unfortunately, but this movie's freaking good too. And I know people are like, at this point, it's overrated. Everyone talks about Frozen, end it, end my life, end its life, because everyone just goes on and on. So I don't need it. You know it's good. It's not overrated, but I don't need to spend 20 minutes talking about it. Hands down, at least in the top 2 best Pixar movies ever, The Incredibles. Brad Bird, the genius that made The Iron Giant, made this. Oh, this movie's awesome. Yes, The Incredibles. Oh, I want the sequel to happen. Did they announce it? I thought they did. Incredibles, though, is badass. Right up there with the Toy Story trilogy. I count as one movie because I'm a cheater and that's what I do. Now I need to organize this on my shelf. There we go, organize that, don't fall over. Dumb and Dumber, the sequel's coming out soon, and I have no hope for it. I think it's honestly going to be a pile of shit. Could be good, don't know. The original is kind of a comedy classic. Really lowbrow, dumb, potty humor, but you know what? In 1994, that was good enough for us. Kevin Smith's Dogma, I have not seen it. I'm actually going to watch this tonight, as of me filming this on a Saturday. Whenever this gets uploaded, you will understand that. But yeah. Tusk came out yesterday, Friday, and I haven't been able to see it yet. I'm going through all his movies pretty much. I'm going to review them all, then review Tusk more or less, or maybe review all his movies after Tusk, depending how soon I see that. Excited to watch Dogma though. Con Air, this is an action classic in a cheesy 90s sort of way, where this is just, what do I need to say? Put the bunny back in the box. Like, Nick Cage wins everything with that line alone. Ron Howard's movie, Rush, Chris Hemsworth, Daniel Bruhl. Just the competitive nature between these 2 race car drivers that creates a great rivalry. And one racing movie deserves another, The Fast and the Furious. A lot different. Basically Point Break remade with street racing, but still really good. And went on to become a lot better with Fast 5. I don't like Michael Bay very much. I do happen to own Transformers and Transformers 2, which is not my fault. That was given to me, and I kind of have it because I haven't traded it in for anything yet. I'm dying. I'm trying to point them out. But I have Pain and Gain over there because it was good enough. But I do really enjoy Armageddon. I think this is a really good action movie. And you know what? I actually cry at the end of this movie. I do. Good job, Michael Bay. You did it once. He will never get that emotional reaction from me again in any other movie he ever makes. But this one makes me cry. Now I just need to buy Bad Boys, even though I don't like it that much. Bad Boys 2 and The Rock, and then that's kind of it. Safe House wasn't great, wasn't exactly generic. It was like, yeah, they're sort of going for a Bourne-esque type movie, but for me it was entertaining enough. This was like $7 on Amazon. Why the hell not? Ryan Reynolds, you did good enough. I'll see you in Deadpool, buddy. By the way, they announced that. That's a separate video, I have to talk about that. Next, we got some Martin Scorsese. Not The Departed, though. Goodfellas. The Warner Brothers, best of Warner Brothers. Got a whole bunch of special features. Ultimate gangster movie. I used to say Casino was. I was like, Casino's better than Goodfellas. I'll put it this way. Sharon Stone in Casino is better than any of the women in Goodfellas because Sharon Stone is hot in Casino. But the movie itself, Casino, is pretty bloated. 3 hours long, sort of drags. This one, like, has better pacing and all, which I guess makes it a much better movie, even though it doesn't have Sharon Stone from the 90s. Like, whew! If there was ever a woman in the 90s, it was Sharon Stone. Or Sandra Bullock. Another Martin Scorsese movie, The Aviator, with Leo DiCaprio as Howard Hughes, the most batshit guy to ever make movies. He was basically, what did he make? Hell's Angels or something? Made some really cool movies about planes and stuff, and he was crazy. Batshit crazy, OCD, insane. This movie kind of puts you, in a way, makes you experience what it would be like to do that and be that crazy. And it's a really good movie. DiCaprio's really good in it. Who else was in this? What's her name? Cate Blanchett was really good too. Another Leo movie, The Great Gatsby. I just watched this last night. This movie is good. It's not great, but I would blame that on Baz Luhrmann. His style gets in the way a little bit. The direction at times is a little too much. I mean, this is a very grandiose movie, which I thought fit, but sometimes the direction just feels like a little too much. The editing is a little too quick, especially in the first half of the movie. It's just too much editing going on. It's moving too fast, but then it kind of slows down. And I've never seen any of the other Great Gatsby movies, never read the books, I don't know, but the story to me in the second half gets kind of like, that's where it gets really, really interesting, but then it starts having a couple of weird scenes where it's like, really, this is how the story's gonna go, and then, but by the end I was like, oh, that's kind of a sad movie. And DiCaprio's really good, and Tobey Maguire was really good. Joel Edgerton was okay, and Carey Mulligan, you have Drive, but this movie's, But Argo, Ben Affleck's Oscar-winning movie, have not seen it, got this big-ass thing. First off, what the hell is that? They give you this to go in there because it doesn't quite take up enough space. My digital copy, that's mine. Confidential. I don't even know what's in here. It's the same pretty much as his special edition for The Town, which I like. If every Ben Affleck movie that you get comes with all this special edition stuff, then I am forever sold on Ben Affleck Blu-rays. My CIA badge, is it? U.S. government employee. I'm gonna take that places. I'm like, yeah, I'm Ben Affleck. And they're gonna look at me and be like, no, you're not. You ain't the goddamn Batman. I believe this is the poster. Yep. This is actually pretty awesome. This is the fake movie that they're making. Argo. Come on, that's awesome. They need more retro movie posters like that. You know, posters that are made of art. Like someone painted that or drew it and made a real poster. Instead of generic floating head posters. I want to point, I could point over there my Captain America one. I love the movie, I like the poster, but a lot of posters like that where it's just put the characters there in generic positions and blur some stuff in the background. No, we need cool art. And what the hell is this? Map of Tehran. They also had this for The Town. I literally have my poster for The Town right here. I'm going to put this one up actually. Like the map of Boston from The Town, that's pretty pimp. I'm gonna keep that because when I do hit a low point in my life and I have to make money the easy way, I'm gonna go rob Fenway Park. But here's the Argo map. I believe this is an art book, well, Blu-ray itself, and then kind of just a art book, nice photos. Look at that. Bryan Cranston. Look at that, that's the Batman. I'm Batman. I hope when he directs his own Batman movie, which has somewhat been promised to him, they're like, Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman, Justice League, and then eventually, more or less, I'm pretty sure it's been announced, I don't care if it is, it's a fact, he will more than likely be directing his own Batman movie. I want to see the picture where he's directing it, dressed as Batman. Like, yeah, that'll do. But he won't be doing like the Christian Bale voice. It'll be half his like Boston accent. Hey, I'm the Batman. Let's go to Fenway Park, beat up the Joker. I don't know. I don't actually even know how I'm going to slip all this back in here. That's not the first time I've had to say that. Yes, it is. My one horror movie. My next Blu-ray update is going to have a couple horror movies, but by time of ordering this is the first one to arrive. John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter using his muse, you know, Kurt Russell. They worked together on this, Escape from New York and LA, I think they did both. And Big Trouble Little China. I watched that movie on Netflix. Weird. That's the only word I can think to describe it as weird. You know, the movie starts off kind of slow. I'm actually kind of disinterested and bored, to be honest. Like, the first 2/3 of the movie almost is like I almost turned the movie off. I was just sitting there bored, kind of like, I get it, it's kind of weird, yeah. But then eventually it gets going and I really start enjoying it by the end. It's just weird though, it's very weird. Next up, a bunch of movies I will not be reviewing. I reviewed the first one and I'm going to review Rise and the Marky Mark one. I know I promised to do that a while ago. I should have did that in July before Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out. My bad. It makes me want to hit myself. I got teeth pulled and that sucked out my ambition or something and I just never got around, felt bored, couldn't find the time to do videos. I still like my movie reviews that I'm posting lately. A lot of them should have been posted a while ago, but I bought these and one day I'll review them. Planet of the Apes collection, where you get Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and then Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I don't know how many of them are good or bad. I know the first one's really good, but after that, I don't know if any of them are any good or like awful. I guess we'll see. Or I'll see. You'll see if I review them. Lethal Weapon, never seen any of them, and from what I understand, the first two are good, and they all stayed R, so what do you know? This franchise didn't go off the deep end. Or maybe it did. I honestly don't know anything about Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson's got big hair, and Danny Glover's too old for this shit. Exciting. 3 animated features, one of which I've seen. I have no idea about Son of Batman. I'm pretty sure it's about Damian Wayne, which is him and Talia al Ghul. Batman and Talia al Ghul had a bastard kid, basically, and he comes back to be Robin. And he's a dickhead, I know that. I know Damian Wayne's a real little prick. Like, basically Jason Todd, except I wonder if the Joker shows up and, like, beats Damian Wayne with a crowbar and explodes him. That would be nice. Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. I've heard really good things about this one. I believe it's just like Flash ends up in a paradox where it's an alternate universe Batman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, they're all different. Flash is, I don't know. It's supposedly really cool. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Kevin Conroy's in it. Awesome. Now this one I have seen, Bryan Cranston as Jim Gordon. That should be done in the new Ben Affleck Batman movies. If not, the one after that. Someone get Bryan Cranston to be Jim Gordon in a live-action Batman movie. He did it fantastic here. Batman Year One. This is one of the best animated Batman things to me. It's not great. I think it's kind of the comic to it that it's his first year. He's not exactly the most dynamic. Oh, everything you want in a Batman thing is in here. It's his early training and stuff, but it's really good. They got Catwoman as a hooker. Yeah, that's not a great time. But then if you think about it, where is it? It's in The Dark Knight Returns. Catwoman is a fat old lady, so this is really good though. I rewatched this in my last Blu-ray update. I talked about this, I believe. I've watched this twice now. I love almost every bit of this. I think it's very faithful from what I understand. I'm going to be buying a lot of Batman comics soon, like the classics. Killing Joke, Year One, Dark Knight Returns, Long Halloween, all those. But this, it's very good. It's just, I hate the Joker in this. I'm going to review it because I really want to talk about it. But the Joker in this, to me, sucks. Last two, which one do I show? I already talked about this, I mentioned it. Captain America the Winter Soldier, Marvel's best movie. I'm actually trying to decide, because you know what? I say Avengers is the best, but to me it's just, Avengers, the only reason that movie is considered the best is because it has all these characters in it. You got Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, and yeah, Hawkeye's off in the corner. How you doing, Jeremy Renner? Hey, remember you almost had a Bourne franchise? But they got all those characters in it, and that's why people love it. It's one of the lesser great written movies in the way that it's like, the first half of the movie is just them coming together, and then their helicarrier gets blown up, and it's not a whole movie of them kicking ass. The last half of the movie, it's them in the city finally kicking ass together against nameless, generic, bland Chitauri that you literally blow up their ship and they all drop dead. Like, that's kind of lame, but the action is cool enough that you like, yeah, it's the best movie. But the best written and structured, well put together, acted movie, I'd actually say is Captain America the Winter Soldier. This is a more superior movie. It's just lacking all the heroes, which is why Avengers is considered the best. Captain America the Winter Soldier is a freaking political espionage thriller that just happens to feature a superhero. And it's badass. It's awesome. The Winter Soldier is basically Captain America's Bane. And the Falcon, I said it in my review, I say it again, I would watch a Falcon movie. I don't believe they will ever make a standalone movie about the Falcon, but I think he would work. Anthony Mackie's a charismatic actor. I want to see him in a leading role. And I think if someone could do it, it would work. Someone out there could make Falcon a standalone movie that works, but they're never going to try it because they're like, we got to do Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and the Hulk first. We're not going to go to Falcon. Like, if they ever did a Falcon movie, it would be like Phase 7 or something. And lastly, with great power comes great responsibility. No, it's not The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's actually the original Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy. That's right, the first one, the second one, and even the third, which I will watch. I admit, I will watch Spider-Man 3 again. I like it. I don't love it. I love the first two. Spider-Man 3 is kind of almost guilty pleasure, where it's like the first half is kind of good, second half falls apart into a barrel of shit. But I can say this, Spider-Man 3 holds up better than The Amazing Spider-Man does. I do not like The Amazing Spider-Man. The first one I hate. I hate. It's not just dislike. I hate that movie. Hate, 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 hate. I almost might rewatch it just so I can do a video talking about how much I hate it again. And The Amazing Spider-Man 2, people hate that one. They're like, it's Spider-Man 3 all over again. And I admit it sort of is. Too many villains, one of which is barely used. Rhino. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was essentially Mark Webb's Spider-Man 3. It happened already. Too much shit going on. They cutting stuff out. Too many characters. Too many villains. It all sort of falls apart. But I like that one. To me, it was emotionally resonant with Gwen Stacy and Peter. They were good. It had the best Spider-Man to be put in a movie yet, to me. And it has a lot of problems, but I still like it more than The Amazing Spider-Man. But enough about that. Ooh, I got a digital copy. And you got this. And there's your 3 movies and a bonus disc. It's pretty badass. I like it. So those are all the Blu-rays. Next up, I gotta put them all back on my shelf and eventually do a video about my Blu-ray collection because I got a new shelf I want to talk about. It's nice. And a lot of Blu-rays. But for now, just leave it at that. Literally, probably by the time this is uploaded, within a week or less, there'll probably be a new one because I order too many Blu-rays now. It's just a thing I do, and I got some really cool ones coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Comment below about all the Blu-rays, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.